Welcome students. Today we have come again to read yet another topic from the chapter Tissue. In this topic which we are going to study today, we are going to focus our attention on the plant tissues. Last day we have discussed tissues in general, who coined the term tissue, and then we learned that are the plant tissues and animal tissues same or not. Today we will be focusing on the different types of plant tissues. If you remember, in the last topic we have studied that the plant tissues are mostly dead, they are supportive or protective. As a result, they need a less maintenance energy compared to that of the animal tissue. So most of the plant tissues, as they are dead, so they are mostly superficial, and the one which is living, which is associated with that of the various functions, they are generally associated with the growth of the plant. So where are these tissues located which helps in the growth of the plant, and what is this growth happening in the plant's body, and whether this growth is unlimited or how does it takes place? That is what all is about today's chapter. So to begin with, depending upon the capacity to divide or not, the plant tissues are broadly classified into two groups. Now what are these two groups? One is called the meristematic tissues, which is made up of dividing cells, and another one is the permanent tissue, which is made up of the non-dividing cells. Now when I say dividing cells, that means they are living in nature, isn't it? So meristematic tissues are a tissue which is made up of a group of cells which have the capacity to divide continuously. And where are they present? Definitely in the growing part of the plant. The portion of the plant which keeps on growing throughout the plant's life, as we know, because in case of plants the growth is unlimited, isn't it? It is continuous in form till the plant survives, whereas if you see in case of animals, the growth is restricted. After a certain age the growth stops, only the internal repairing work takes place in case of animal cell. So since we are now concentrating upon the plant cells, so let us only concentrate upon the tissue system of the plant. So meristematic tissues are made up of the dividing cells, and permanent tissues. What is this permanent tissues? As the name suggests, permanent, that means they have now become permanent. Now they are not going to form something new. Now from how or from which cells they have derived from? They have derived from that of the meristematic tissues. So when the meristematic tissues has undergone the differentiation, so that no further division or growth is taking place in them, then they transform themselves into a kind of tissues which we call it as your permanent tissues, and they are made up of non-dividing cells. In the later part of the chapter to come, we will see that sometimes when the plant has attained its maturity, the vegetative growth of the plant is finished and the sexual maturity has come, that means flowering will take place, that will result into formation of fruits in the plants. During that time, what happens is that you will find there are some plants like mango, banyan, jackfruit, which are perennial plants. Perennial plants means which will be living for several years, and each year they will give flowers, and that flowers will result into fruit. So in case of those type of plants, what happens is that some cells or some tissues which have become permanent in them, they sometimes again regain back the property of division. So that means they again turn to be meristematic. But that is the time when it will be attaining its complete maturity. So when it attains its complete maturity, sometimes some region of the cells which have transformed itself into permanent tissues again regain back this capacity of division, and they again become meristematic. That we will be seeing them, and this type of growth in plants is called secondary growth. Why secondary growth? Because primary growth is associated with the increase in the height of the plant, that is the shoot part as well as the root part. Once it has attained, it has become the complete full vegetative size of the plant has been grown, then the primary growth stops. Then the other growth takes place, that is branching can take place, formation of leaf takes place, formation of flowers takes place, formation of fruits takes place. But you might have seen in nature that the plant, after certain years, it becomes the trunk of the plant becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, isn't it? So the diameter of the trunk grows. So how does it take place? That is also a growth. So how does it take place? Those permanent tissues which have become permanent during the time of growing of the plant's height, and they have lost the property of division, they during the time of the secondary growth again regain back the property of division, become meristematic, and then they add cells. That means they keep on dividing. So when cell numbers are increasing, definitely the size will also increase. So the size is increasing means the diameter of the trunk is increasing, with what we are making the furniture in our home, isn't it? So you might have seen big logs are kept in the various factories, wooden factories, to be cut into planks, and with that we are making our sofas, we are making our beds, we are making our chair, table, and many things. So all this is happening. Why? Because that trunk of the tree is growing, and that is because of some meristematic tissues which becomes functional or which becomes active during the time of secondary growth of a plant. That means the second phase of the plant, when the plant has attained its primary growth, and after that it is attaining only in the width, not in the height. Okay. So this meristematic tissues, depending upon location, is again divided into three types. Now what are these three types? Apical meristematic tissues, intercalary meristematic tissues, and lateral meristematic tissues. Now apical meristematic tissues, as the name suggests, what? That they are present in the apex of the plant. Okay, that means apex of the plant means the tip of the plant. Now where are the tip of the plant located? Of course the shoot tip and the root tip, because root has to go in search of water and minerals in the soil, isn't it? Until and unless it gets a supply of water and minerals, the formation of food by the process of photosynthesis in the leaves will not take place, because water has to be constantly supplied to the leaves for the process of photosynthesis. So root tip has to be always active. So it is a growing tip, and the root tip is always protected by an outer covering which is called the root cap. So the meristematic region is present in the root tip, and that again is surrounded by a protective layer of tissues or protective layer of covering which is called as your root cap. In case of the shoot, that is a tip which will be deciding the height of the plant. That is because of the shoot tip and the apical meristematic tissues present in the shoot tip. It is again covered, by the various sides, small leaves. Why it is protected? Because if it is not protected, if it is damaged by some external agencies like any kind of insects or any kind of pathogens like bacteria, fungus, or like that, then the shoot tip will die. So if the shoot tip will die, then the height of the plant will not increase, isn't it? So it has to be protected. So it is protected by what? It is protected by fine small leaf buds, or it is called leaf primordia, which is actually protecting the shoot tip of the plant. Okay, so apical meristem is found where? In two places, root tip and shoot tip, for the growth or the elongation of the plant to a certain height up to which the plant is going to grow. The next type of meristematic tissues is your intercalary meristematic tissue. Now this intercalary meristematic tissue is found in two places. What are these two places? One is at the base of the leaf. Now these extensions which I have drawn here, you can see these extensions. I have drawn here some dark regions, isn't it? This dark region, this is the dark region, this is the dark region. So this region includes the location of the intercalary meristematic tissue, as a result of which the leaf will grow, the petiole of the leaf will grow. Petiole means you can say the stalk of the leaf, that will be growing. Also branches, if it is growing, the branches will grow because of the intercalary meristem present at the base of this leaf base, or that of your that is the nodal region. And also intercalary meristem is present on the two sides of the nodes. These are the intercalary meristems. These are the intercalary meristems. What is the function of this? If this is present, they will be dividing. More and more cells will be adding over here. Here also more and more cells will be adding. So if something is adding, so they will be increasing. They will be increasing. So increase in the length of the stem will become. So increase in the length of the stem will become means what? Now the plant will also increase in the height. So that is the purpose of the intercalary meristem, present in the internodal region and present at the base of the leaf. Okay. Last one is the lateral meristematic tissue. Now this lateral meristematic tissue, this is active when? During the time of secondary growth of the plant, and it is present on the inner side of the main stem of the plant. And this lateral meristem, which is present in the inner side of the main stem of the plant, they will add cells, and now the diameter of the trunk will keep on increasing, and now the plant will become thicker, the diameter will be thicker, and the trunk will become thicker, and that will make the plant sturdy. It will make the plant strong. So if the plant is strong, if it is sturdy, then definitely if there is any kind of external agencies like wind or heavy storm or cyclone or any sorts of this kind of natural calamities, the plant will not be uprooted very easily. Although it is uprooted when the cyclone is too high, it has to uproot, but most of the time, because of this protective tissues found in case of the plants, they can withstand these stressful conditions prevailing in the environment. Now next is the characteristics of meristematic tissues. Now these meristematic tissues which we are talking about so much, which are found in the different regions of the plant, like the apex, in the intercalary region, in the lateral region, because of which the plant shows growth, continuous growth throughout the life. There should be a difference between them and that of the permanent tissues, isn't it? Now what are the various important characteristics of these meristematic tissues? The first and the foremost thing is that the meristematic tissues are living, isn't it? They are living, that means they are having protoplasm in them. They are having all the cell organelles which are important for the purpose of the plant cell to divide, because these are the dividing cells. So let us see the characteristics. Number one, the shape. Let us think about the shape or understand the shape of the meristematic tissues. The meristematic tissues are generally spherical, oval, round, or they can be polygonal. So see, the shapes are different according to the place where they are found. Okay, so according to the place, that means if they are found in the regions of the stem, in the internal part of the stem where they are forming the packing tissues and all, so in that case they will be round or the spherical and all. The growing regions, they will be angular, because it's in angular plane they are dividing. That means whether it will be in the sideways, so the angle of the shape will be in that polygonal shape, so that there can be a new bud formation. So depending upon the place where they are located and what function they are going to perform, the meristematic cells shapes also differ from one place to another place, but basically or generally they are of the shape of spherical shape, oval shape, round shape, or that of the polygonal shape. Next is that they have thin cell wall. Why they have thin cell wall? If their cell wall is with extra deposition of lignin or suberin and all, it is difficult for that cell to divide. So meristematic cells have the cell wall which is only made up of the cellulose, so it is easy to divide. So the cell wall also can divide, and the internal that is your organelles as well as the cytoplasm also can divide very easily. Next is that they have a prominent nuclei, because nucleus is a characteristic of a cell. Nucleus will decide the cell division and all, because all the genetic information is stored in the nucleus. So nucleus is a must in case of a dividing cell. If there is no nucleus, then the division of the cell cannot take place. So it has a prominent nuclei. Meristematic cells have a prominent nuclei in them with no vacuoles, or they have, even if they have vacuoles, the vacuoles are very minute, because vacuoles are associated with storage of reserve food materials, some pigments and all. So since they are now in active condition of division, there is no need of storage of anything. So the energy is to be needed. Extra energy is to be needed, ATP synthesis. So whatever glucose it is being prepared or transported to those regions of meristematic regions present in the plant's body, they will be utilizing that to release ATP, and that ATP will be utilized in the division purpose, because division is a kind of work, it is a kind of, and any kind of work needs to have energy in it. So that is the reason why they will be provided with no vacuoles at all, and they will have a prominent nuclei with them. So the organelles are which are extremely important, like mitochondria. So mitochondria will be there, okay, because they will be providing energy for the work of division. The nucleus will divide, followed by the cytoplasm, and the cell wall is thin, so the division of cell wall will also take place very easily in case of meristematic cells. The next property of the meristematic cells are that they have dense cytoplasm with no intercellular spaces. The cytoplasm is dense, that means it is having all the required substances present in it. The reserve food material, because I told you, if there is no food material, then how come the breakdown of food material will take place to release energy? So that is why the cytoplasm is provided with ample amount of substances which is required for the process of cell division, and they have no intercellular spaces. Newly formed cells are compact. They are just attached so closely with each other that no two cells have spaces in between them. Suppose if there is this is a cell, okay, and this is another cell. This is another cell. this is another cell, this is another cell. So there will be in between the cells, this is a complete cell, this is a complete cell, this is a complete cell. So you can find that I have not drawn any kind of space between the cells. So in between the cells, if there is no space, that space between the cells is called intercellular space. So there is no intercellular space in case of meristematic cells, because they are all formed one after another, one after another, one after another. So that is why they don't have any intercellular space. Gradually, when they modify, when the thickening of the cell wall takes place, and gradually then there will be formation of some angular spaces between them, intercellular spaces between them, and those intercellular spaces will be helpful for the passage of some substances through them, or sometimes they can even store some that is some extra deposition of lignin, suberin can take place over there, so that again it can give mechanical strength to the plant to withstand the environmental stressful condition. Okay, so this is all about the today's study, only about the meristematic tissue I have discussed. And in the next class to follow, we will be discussing about the permanent tissues, that is the non-dividing cells. Okay, and after this is done, then I will be telling you, depending upon the function, how many types of plant tissues are found in case of the plant's body, and then our plant tissue portion will be finished. I hope you understood the meristematic portion of the plant tissue.